Good morning, everyone. In this week's Torah portion, Jacob is coming home after being away for 20 years in the house of Laban. And he prays to God to protect him from his brother Esav, who wants to harm him. And he says, Katonti, I feel small, I feel overwhelmed and diminished, mikala chasadim, from all the kindness and goodness that God has done with me. Because b'makli, with my staff, with my walking stick, I crossed over the Jordan River 20 years ago and I fled from my parents' home. And now look at me. Thank God I have a family, children, wives, flock, blessings of abundance and prosperity and success. So I'm so grateful for you, God. You've done so much for me. But the question is, why is it that when he left home and he knew he was going to be spending some time in the house of Laban, why did he go empty-handed? Why did he just leave with his walking stick? Why didn't he take some money, some cash, some credit cards, something to provide for himself? And our Medrash gives us a fascinating answer, that indeed Jacob did leave home with money, with possessions. But Esav, his brother, sent his son Eliphaz to run after Jacob and to kill him. And Eliphaz caught up with Jacob and wanted to kill him. And Jacob pleaded with him not to kill him. And Eliphaz said, but I have to. My father told me to kill you. So then Jacob said, listen, it says in the Talmud that a pauper, someone who's completely destitute, it's as though they're dead. So he said, take all my possessions, rob me of everything I have, and then you could spare my life because you will have fulfilled your father's instruction to kill me because you left me penniless. And that's what Eliphaz did. And why did Eliphaz, the son of Esav, do that? So the Medrash says, because even though he had a wicked father like Esav, he grew up in the bosom of his grandfather Isaac, and he learned from his grandfather Isaac, and therefore he showed compassion and mercy on his uncle Jacob. And this is a very powerful lesson, because this story has replayed itself many, many times, where there were children who grew up with the influence of a grandparent, and that influence of the grandparent inspired them to lead a righteous life. And it shows you that grandparents can have a tremendous impact on their grandchildren. I remember hearing a story that there was this secular couple in Israel, and they had a daughter who started becoming observant, and she became religious, and then she got engaged to a nice religious boy. And as they were preparing for the wedding, the mother said to her daughter, I want to give you a special present in honor of your wedding. I want to give you my very expensive set of Scheiner that I have as a wedding gift. And the daughter said to the mother, thank you so much, that's so kind of you to give me that, but I can't accept it because my husband and I, we're kosher, we're going to have a kosher home. And your dishes, unfortunately, are not kosher, so we won't be able to use it. And the mother started to cry. And the daughter said, Ima, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to hurt you, to insult you, to offend you. You have to just understand, we won't be able to use these dishes. And the mother said to the daughter, I'm not crying tears of sadness. I'm actually crying tears of joy. Because let me tell you a story. Your grandfather was a very religious Jew, as you know, from Europe. And he came to Israel, and I strayed away from the path of Judaism. I stopped being observant. And when I got engaged to your father, as we were preparing for the wedding, your grandfather, my father, came to his future son-in-law, your father, said, I want to give you a wedding present. I want to give you my talus. And your father said to my father, your grandfather, thank you so much, but to tell you the truth, I never go to synagogue. I don't even go on the high holidays, on Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. So I really have no use for the talus because I'm never going to use it. So thank you, but I don't need it. And your father started to cry because he was so saddened that his future son-in-law will never be going to shul. He said, now that you tell me you can't use my dishes because you're going to be keeping a kosher home, I remembered your grandfather's tears. And now I'm crying tears of joy that he's looking down from heaven and sees that he has a granddaughter and a future grandson that are going to be observant and keeping kosher and going to shul, not just on the high holidays, but each and every day of the year. And therefore I know what I'm going to do. I still have that talus. When your grandfather passed away, I found that talus that he wanted to give to your father. and instead I'm going to give it to your future husband, and he will wear it. And he will spread this talus all the way from heaven down upon your husband and your family. This is the story of not just the influence of parents, which is so important, obviously, but also the positive impact and influence that grandparents, that we as grandparents could have on our grandchildren. Have a wonderful day.